Mind blown. To know the cure for anxiety by Zen philosophy. You will not regret watching this video if you watch till the end. 1. The flaw in the anxiety engine. We begin by exposing the fundamental flaw in the way we try to solve our anxiety. When you feel anxious, your immediate reaction is to fight the feeling, to push it away, or to frantically think your way out of the future crisis your mind is projecting. This reaction is the very engine of suffering. Anxiety is not caused by the external threat. It is caused by your resistance to the internal feeling. As the founder of Taoism, Lao Tzu, observed, "The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own." Similarly, the more you give away your energy to fighting the anxiety, the more powerful it becomes. The first step toward the cure is the recognition that trying to stop anxiety only intensifies it. 2. The tyranny of the future self. Where does anxiety actually live? It does not reside in the present, which is the immediate feeling of your breath and the light in the room. Anxiety is the compulsive dwelling on a future self that you believe will be unable to handle a projected catastrophe. You are not worried about reality. You are worried about a thought you are having now about a hypothetical problem later. This is the ultimate form of self-sabotage. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius taught, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. When you are present, you are armed. When you are lost in the future, you are defenseless." The goal is to retire the future self and grant full power to the present self. 3. The paradox of hurrying and the now. Anxiety is fundamentally a state of hurrying, rushing through the immediate moment to get to the moment of relief. We treat life as a competition to be won, a goal to be reached. This prevents us from discovering that the joy of life is not in the destination, but in the process. The Zen cure is to recognize that life is music, not a journey. You don't listen to music to rush to the final note. You savor the sound as it unfolds. The spiritual teacher Ram Dass encapsulated this truth. Be here now. When your attention is fully focused on the sensation of your body in the chair, the texture of your shirt, the taste of your tongue, the conceptual time machine of worry immediately shuts down because your brain is busy processing reality, not fiction. 4. The non-dual nature of feeling. Zen philosophy encourages us to see the non-dual relationship between opposites. We want the pleasure of security without the pain of insecurity. We want the light without the shadow. But every positive emotion exists only in relation to its negative counterpart. Alan Watts taught that the effort to live without the shadow, the insecurity, the anxiety, the pain, is to declare war on the universe. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung understood this necessary integration. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Anxiety, therefore, is not an enemy to be eliminated. It is a vital sensation, a strong current of energy running through your system. The moment you stop judging the feeling as bad, you strip it of its emotional power and turn it back into simple energy. 5. The simple trick, the full acceptance. Here is the ultimate Zen trick, the cure for anxiety. It is not a technique, a breath, or a mantra. It is a radical shift in relationship with the feeling itself. The simple trick is this: when you feel anxiety, fully intend to feel it even more.
When the physical sensations, the racing heart, the tight stomach, the shallow breath arise, greet them. Say to yourself, "Welcome, you are here. I will give you full permission to stay as long as you like. In fact, I will deliberately intensify you." You intentionally drop the inner struggle and lean into the discomfort. The great Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita, guides this surrender. You have a right to your work, but never to the fruit of your work. Your work is the immediate sensation. The fruit is the imagined outcome. By accepting the sensation without demanding its removal, you break the cycle of resistance. 6. Why the trick works. The paradox of surrender. This trick works because it uses the logic of paradox. The mind only registers a problem when there is a gap between what is, anxiety, and what should be, calm. By fully accepting what is, you close that gap. The feeling that rushes in when you surrender is not panic. It is often a powerful, grounding energy. You realize the anxious energy you were fighting is simply life flowing through you, albeit uncomfortably. The German mystic Meister Eckhart urged, "The soul is in no need of anything but to be free of all things." Freedom from anxiety comes not from fighting the emotion, but from freeing the emotion from your judgment. The feeling, met with radical non-resistance, fulfills its function and begins to dissolve. 8. The practice of attention and sensation. To maintain this state of surrender, you must train your attention to become a neutral observer. When the anxious thought arises, do not chase the content of the thought. "I will fail." Instead, immediately bring your awareness to the physical sensation the thought generates, the tightness in your chest, the buzzing in your head. As the Zen master Dojin taught, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. When you are deeply immersed in studying the physical sensation, the thinking self that generates the worry temporarily dissolves. The sensation, when divorced from the story, is just a bundle of energy, not a threat. Your body is just a tuning fork vibrating. It is the story you attach to the vibration that causes the suffering. 8. The unkillable nature of the self. Anxiety is fundamentally the fear of the self's annihilation, the loss of status, security, or life. To truly cure anxiety, you must realize your unkillable nature. Alan Watts explained that your individual self is not a separate thing, but a wave of the ocean. It appears, crests, and dissolves, but it is never separated from the sea. Your true being is the entire cosmic process. Khalil Gibran spoke to this ultimate freedom. For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? The moment you understand that you are not the small, fragile ego that can be destroyed, but the vast, flowing intelligence that operates the universe, the threat level drops to zero. You realize that there is nothing, fundamentally, to be afraid of. 9. The social cure, being useless. Much of our anxiety is social, the fear of judgment, failure, and not measuring up. This stems from our belief that we must be constantly useful or productive to justify our existence. The 9th lesson is the liberation found in being useless. Take time each day to simply sit, breathe, and exist without any goal, task, or justification. The Taoists celebrated the gnarled, useless tree because it was the only one that survived the lumberjack. Chuang-Tzu spoke of this. The usefulness of a thing is in its uselessness. When you free your worth from your performance, you free your mind from the anxiety of constant measurement and judgment. Your simple, present existence is the ultimate justification. 10. Conclusion. trusting the flow. The cure for anxiety is not the attainment of absolute security. It is the courage to trust the insecurity. The universe is constantly flowing, changing, and spontaneous. Anxiety is your attempt to freeze that flow into a predictable shape. The simple trick, the full, deliberate acceptance of the anxious feeling, teaches your subconscious mind that the feeling is not dangerous. By making peace with the internal storm, you find the stillness that exists within the storm. Stop trying to live a life without chaos, and instead learn to dance spontaneously within the rhythm of the chaos. Your freedom is guaranteed the moment you stop fighting the reality of the present moment.